Hello everybody, welcome to a new tutorial from Sound for More. It's Leo speaking. Today I have the pleasure to start a new series of tutorials on discovery from discoDSP. Before I continue, I would like to remind my viewers to subscribe as it helps with growing the channel. Thank you very much. Okay, we are inside, as you can see, Discovery, and I've just launched it as an audio plugin. It comes in different format, of course. It works for Windows, Mac, OS, and also Linux. I'm running at the moment as a VST free, but of course you can have also the usual format, VST, AU, etc., etc. So it is a virtual analog synth based on the Node Lead 2. As you can see down here to the bottom, it has 32 voices, okay, which is quite nice. And let's explore it a little bit in this first tutorial. Let's go through a little bit of the interface, but also let's go through some of the presets more importantly, because I believe when you buy a synth, you either buy it for the presets and therefore for the sounds, or also to create sounds, which is really important. Okay, so first of all, it has the capability to actually record 128 patches or patch memories per bank. Okay, and down here, if you click, this is where you actually choose the different banks, and you have 40 banks. So you can imagine more than 3,500 preset spread around 40 banks, which is really, really nice. Here you have a button which says menu. Click on it, and this gives you a lot of different options to copy and paste program, layer, gate delay, randomize different programs, layers, gate, resetting, changing the unison, renaming, do some swapping. There's a lot, but also importantly, you can also import. You can import Node Lead 2 and 2 times patches as well. And you can export, of course. You can change configuration here. This is quite important. This is where you set the number of voices and you limit the number of voices. This is where also you can set undersampling, no oversampling, and oversampling. And then if you want to have high quality distortion as well. The first time that you come in, you might have the UI set to 1. I recommend that in terms of a zoom factor. I suggest you change that because it's too small, and in my case, 1.5 is okay, 2 is actually too big. Okay, and so I showed you where the presets are, which is here, and also where the banks are. You can change the preset up and down with the arrows, like so. You can click on voices here, and it's a shortcut to change the number of voices, the oversampling, and the HQ distortion. And similar here, you can have access to the different banks, and also you have the arrow here left and right to actually move between different banks. Okay, let's explore it a little bit more because there is a lot more. So it has 4 layers per patch, and these are the layers A, B, C, D. Of course, pay attention because you have 32 voices, so if you activate all layers, you are left with, of course, 8 voice of polyphony. This is where you enable your phaser and chorus in terms of effect. This is you have your poly, legato, and mono, and this is where you can set your glide and portamento. Okay. The next you have a selection for morph velocity, and interestingly, this synth has the ability actually to morph between different states, which are assigned to controls or parameters, which I will show you in one of the future tutorials. Really nice. Here you can set the octave shift up and down, the range for the pitch, and also you can decide what the modulation wheel will do and what it will actually change. Okay, so if it is allocated to a filter, the oscillator 2, and the morph, etc. And you can see as you press this button, it changes. Sometimes you have 2 selection. In this case, it means it is for frequency modulation. That is where it's set because you have these 2 active, which represent these 2 combinations. So it works like that. It's almost like a binary format of changing between the different states. Okay, next, as you can see, you have two oscillators. The main one is oscillator number 1, and you have different type of waveforms. Of course, you can change also the pulse width modulation, and you can also do frequency modulation via oscillator number 2. Remember, oscillator 1 is the main one, so you can modulate oscillator number 1 using oscillator number 2. This is where you have also oscillator number 2. This is where you can change the semitones, the waveforms. You can have it tracking or not tracking, doing fine-tuning as well. And of course, here you can decide if you want to do, if you want to have oscillator 2 resyncing the phase of oscillator number 1, or if you want to do ring modulation when you multiply the 2. And of course, you can decide the mix of the 2 oscillators. You have amplitude ADSR, so attack, decay, sustain and release with a gain, and you can activate a limiter. You also have a filter envelope, again attack, decay, sustain and release. And here is where you can change the filter type from low pass, 1224 high pass, band pass, notch, high pass 12, formant and phaser 8 taps as well, which is really nice, particularly if you use an LFO against it, but I will show you to you in another tutorial. You can change the frequency or cut off the resonance, the envelope amount, which can also be impacted by the velocity setting. You can have it key tracking or not, which will adjust the cutoff, of course, and then you can decide if you have distortion, asymmetric, mode 1 and 2, and symmetric, which I will explain again in upcoming tutorial. You can have a delay, and you can have a gate effect as well, which you can change like so. And here you can copy and paste and change the gate sequences, and then yeah, you have the mixing. In delay mode, of course, you have the usual control, sync, left and right in terms of timing, then the left feedback, the right feedback, and then you can add some a cross feed as well, which helps you to perhaps make the sound a little bit more 3D. You can have panning settings. You can establish the pan position and then the amount of panning and the rate, and if to have it in sync or not. Moving up here, you have a master volume. This button, I'll come back to it in a future tutorial. This is where you can do morph assignment, a panic, and the menu button, which I showed you a moment ago. You have an LFO, 2 LFOs. The first one, you can set up the sync to bits per minute to your host. You have your rate. This is where you can choose the waveform. The first one is a low pass random, practically random with a filter is moving. Triangle, random, and then combination square and so. And DST stands for destination, so you can have a different destination like FM, pulse width, etc., etc., and then you can set the amount. The LFO2 works in a similar way, but you can activate ARP, and when you activate the arpeggiator, what the states here which change with the destination actually change between, reflects the status on the left-hand side and not the right-hand side. So on the left-hand side, you have arpeggiator down, up and down, etc., etc. So if you deactivate ARP, then as you move the states here, you change the destination to filter, amplitude, oscillator 1 plus oscillator 2, and of course you have an amount there. And then you have a modulation envelope as well, and you have just an attack and a decay, and then you have a destination and the amount. So hopefully, as a UI, it is quite straightforward. And now let's test some of the preset, because that is where the magic happens. And there are so many that it's difficult to make justice to it, but let's try with some of them. This is the default one. Okay, let's change. Let's go to this butter pad. Okay, and let's change again. Let's go to this frog sweep pad. I haven't prepared them, so I'm going to try some random. Really nice. Let's go for a warm pad. Fantastic sound. Really, really, really nice. Okay, let's try these leads. And let me show you the arpeggio now. Change the rate. Let's change the type of arpeggio. Okay, nice. Let's try some other presets. So let's try these bellies. Let's go to the menu. Let's go through the shortcut and let's activate twice oversampling. Now, let's move away from the factory bank and let's try something different. Why now? And as I said, there is so much to choose from. So let's try this bank. This, of course, is an analog grand. Let's try something different. This electric piano. Okay, and let's change, let's go to one of my favorite pad and sweeps. So, of course, lots of different pad. This is what I really like. Okay, let's try something different, and let's try these bright pad. Why not? Opening and closing the filter so you know what it sounds like. Really nice. Let's try something else. This pulse pad. Really nice, really nice. Okay, let's progress. Let's try this plucky pad. Really nice. Okay, let's change the bank. Let's try this factory node lead 2. So let's try something from here. So, oh gosh, quite a lot. So let's try this echo pad. Okay, really nice. Let's try this pick bass. Okay, interesting. Let's try a bit of trumpet. Okay, really nice. Let's try this FM lead. Okay, let's try something else. Let's try, why not this eraser? Okay, really nice. Let's try something else. Okay, let's move on. Let's go for this percussion here. And let's try something from here. Interesting. Yep. Bass drum. Let's try some low tom. Okay. Let's try something like, why not? Let's try something on the snare. Okay. Bear in mind, this is an analog, virtual analog synth, of course. Let's try a different bank. So let's try for this first bank. Okay. Okay. Let's try this LFO bell. Interesting. Let's try a digital bell. Okay, let's try something else. Okay, let's go for this infinite bass. Okay, let's try again something else. The sequencer plug. Let's activate the delay here. Okay, really nice. Let's try this organ pad. Okay, definitely an organ. Let's try this monster bass. Perhaps too low in that case. Okay, really nice, really nice. Let's try this Euro lead. Okay, interesting. Let's try these percussive strings. Okay, let's try a different bank. Let's try this accordion bank. Okay, and let's try some 6 waves. Let's try this one. Notice that the plane is different. You have the legato here on. You can hear definitely the difference there. Let's try this metal glass. Really nice. Okay, let's proceed. Let's try this electrocution. Nice for effects. Brass analog. Okay, interesting. Let's progress with a different library again. Let's try these analog voices. Interesting. Let's try this ancient mystery. Interesting. So let's try something else. Let's try these marimba vibes. Oh, that's quite nice. It's quite pure as a sound. Let's go lower. Let's go higher. Quite nice indeed. Okay, let's try this pulse guitar. Okay, let's try something else. Power chords, why not? Interesting mono. Let's try to add some portamento. Okay, nice. Let's try to change again bank. As I said, there are so many presets here, which is so nice. The X7 one. Okay, let's try something else as well. Let's try this ARP. Okay, really nice. Let's try something else. this wah pad. Okay, let's try something else. Let's go best of. Let's try this one. Okay, so a lot more in here. Let's try this note too. Nice, really nice. Let's try this FM bell. Okay, let's try again a little bit more. Okay, really powerful sound. So let's try this distortion. And let's go to the menu here. Actually, let's go to the voices here and let's activate high quality distortion. Really nice, really nice. Let's try something else. Stereo square. Whoa, really interesting. Talk bass. Oh, this sounds like a famous bass from one of the 80s movies. Okay, let's try this sound rise. Really nice indeed. Let's carry on. Let's try a few more. Japan synth. Okay, let's try again something else. So let's go, for example, for these wood and guitar bank. Oh gosh, again, so much as number of presets, thousands of presets. Okay, and let's try something else. Let's try this filter string. You can use this synth to really create some special compositions, some really nice songs. Really, really nice. But let's carry on. Let's choose another bank. And again, so many presets. Let's try this Polymoog. It's mono. Okay. Okay, really clever, really nice. And let's try something else as well. Actually, why don't we go to a bank where we have arpeggio? Yeah, like so. And let's see what we can find in here. We have arpeggio on, of course. It's called star cycle. The rate is really fast. That's why it doesn't sound like an arpeggio, really, but... Definitely an arpeggio. So let's try something else as well. Let's try this triangle. Okay, really interesting. I must say, my favorite is when it comes to actually pads. They are absolutely amazing in this synth. But let's carry on. Really nice indeed. Okay, let's try this rising bell. Perhaps a little bit too high as a volume. Okay, let's try something else as well. Let's go for these Yu or Juju. Okay, right, let's try these hard sync. Yeah, nice lead. And let's try, for example, these attack bass. Too low. Okay, really nice indeed. Really nice. Okay, let's carry on. Popcorn arps. Yep, sounds like popcorn sound with an arpeggio. Really nice indeed. Let's try these FM gates. Okay, really nice indeed. Really, really nice. Again, let's try something different. Let's go for this factory bank here. Oh, okay, let's try. Legato. Let's move up. Okay, let's try a different bank. Let's try this one. Actually, let's go to a bank. This one, perhaps. Yeah. Always good to have a panic mode if your sound is getting too loud. So remember that. Let's try these velotrons. Okay, really nice. Okay, hopefully you're getting the idea. There are so many presets. It sounds so great as a synth. powerful. And in this case, look, I had only one layer on. So imagine what you can do with 4 of them at the same time. So wind effect, as you would expect. Okay. Okay, perfect. Let's choose a different bank again. Let's go perhaps something we haven't tried, Chase. We haven't tried this one yet. Oh, okay. Perhaps no, this one. Let's go for a different one. Let's go for these keys one. Okay, here we have a lot of accordions, church organ, electric piano. Interesting. Okay, let's try an accordion, why not? Okay, let's try a different one. Okay, interesting. Okay. Let's try this harmonium. Okay, I'm going to stop here for this first demonstration and intro to the UI. Hope you enjoyed, and as always, see you next time. Bye.